In this video, we will show you how to replace your passenger side engine mount on this Toyota Sienna with a 3.5-liter engine. This will be located behind your right front wheel. Let's get into it. Once you've safely raised and supported, we're going to remove the wheel by removing all 5 of our 21mm lug nuts. With the wheel out of the way, we have a clear view of the mount. Before we can start removing that mount, we're going to remove this plastic shield. The plastic shield is held in place with 1 push clip and 2 10mm headed bolts. To remove the push clip, you can use a small trim tool or small prying device. Start removing the center. Once you've done that, it should unlock and you can remove the outer portion as well. A quick inspection of that, set it aside. We can get these 10mm. There's one. Make sure we're holding onto the shield. Put that one over there. Remove your shield. Quick inspection, set it aside. Now with the shield out of the way, we have a clear view of our passenger side engine mount. We're going to start up along the top. You can see that you have a metallic bracket. Along the top of the mount to that bracket, you have a 19mm mounting nut. We'll go ahead and remove that. Get this off of here. A quick inspection of that mounting nut. And now let's make our way under the vehicle. We'll make our way underneath the subframe here. The area that we're looking for is directly behind your engine oil pan. Find your drain plug, make your way to the subframe, and here's the area where we're going to be removing our next 2 14mm mounting nuts. There's one up in this port, and there's one in this port, which is protected with a rubber cover. We can remove that and set it aside. Now moving from there, we're going to talk about safely raising and supporting the engine. To do this, it's a good idea to use a flat chunk of wood, something fairly large. We want to come along the edge of the oil pan here, and this is where we're going to apply upward pressure. Now that we've removed the mounting nut, the next thing we need to do is lightly start jacking up the engine. We don't want to cause any damage, but we do want to try to raise it away from this bracket and the mounting area. Once you do raise it, you may find that it doesn't want to separate. If that's the case, you're going to have to use a hammer and possibly a pickle fork to separate it. Let's get our pickle fork in here. Now we'll start dismounting the bracket from the engine. Looking at the bracket, you're going to find that you have 3 14mm headed bolts, 2 along the top and 1 down along the bottom here. We'll start with the bottom one. It's a little bit harder to get access to. Make our way up here. Let's get this last one. Make sure we're holding onto the bracket. Remove your bracket. Quick inspection, set it aside. Now let's move directly underneath that mount. You'll find one of your 17mm mounting nuts. The second one will be located in this port in the subframe, and as we make our way forward, the next one is located underneath this plastic or rubber plug. There's that. Take hold of the mount, remove it from the vehicle. There it is, friend. Before we can install our new mount, let's make sure we clean the mounting areas. Got the area on the engine where the bracket will go. We'll move down to the subframe now. Just want to make sure we have a good mounting area here. There we go. And now lastly, since we're in the cleaning mode, let's go ahead and make our way to that rearward mount. We want to make sure that we remove as much of this debris as possible. Now it's time to install our brand new mount. Get this in position. Now with the mount in position, we can make our way directly onto the subframe here. Start on the mounting hardware. Once it's started on, bottom it out and torque it to 50 foot-pounds. Reinstall your protective cover. That goes in the forward port. Now it's time for the bracket. This bracket will sit up along the top of our mount. That goes directly through the forward port. Other than that, we're going to align our mounting bolt holes on the engine. And now that we've started in all the mounting hardware, the next thing we need to do is make sure that the upper stud on our mount is through this bracket. You may have to raise or lower the engine as needed, but you do want to be inside of here before you continue tightening. Once you're sure of that, we'll snug each of these 3 bolts and torque them to 40 foot-pounds. With that torqued, it's time to lower the engine. Go ahead and remove the support from underneath your engine. Now we'll make our way back up into the wheel well along the top of that motor mount. We're going to reinstall our 19mm mounting nut. Go ahead and snug that up, and I'm going to torque that to 71 foot-pounds. Now it's time for our plastic cover. We'll get that in place, start in each of our 2 10mm bolts. We'll pause on those bolts and install our push clip along the forward corner. Drive in the center to lock it in, and now you can tighten both of those bolts. We'll get the wheel in place, start on all 5 of your 21mm lug nuts. Once they're started, go ahead and snug them up. We'll get the wheel back on the ground, and then we can torque each of these to 76 foot-pounds. The wheel back on the ground, we'll torque these in a crisscross manner. Torqued.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.